Okay, since my last video, several interesting things have occurred so far that we can go over now. One, our previous manufacturing job has completed, so I open up the Science and Industry tab where we can see all of our production, research, other fun stuff like that. We see our job is now listed as ready. I can hit deliver, and our two civilian afterburners are delivered into our cargo hangar like we asked for earlier, which is going to let me complete this mission here. It did take me too long, so I did not get the bonus on this mission. Although it gave me something like 4 or 5 hours, I was not here when the job completed, so I was not able to deliver it then. Um, so, another mission down. I bought several skill books and trained several skills during the time I was gone. Um, Missile launcher operation, survey, energy systems. This is going to help my capacitor recharge quicker. Got the afterburner and acceleration control, which allow me to use an afterburner and use less capacitor and get more speed out of it. Rockets, new weapon I can use. Energy management, another capacitor skill. Signature analysis allows me to target things quicker. Not too big of a deal when I'm only flying a frigate in, small missions, but will become more of an issue if I start flying larger ships and need to target several in a mission or in PvP. Every uh, split second matters when trying to lock somebody down. Perhaps if I start PvPing and bring this character into a corp and want to start acting in a tackling role. Targeting lets me target more things at a time. Drones 1, I can now deploy one drone, which is all my ship is capable of. I'll continue to train that one up. Got missile launcher operation and shield operation actually all the way up to 2. I've now queued several of these skills up to 2. So definitely a lot of progress on skills. That is one of the nice things about EVE is that all this training happens while I'm offline. There's very little you can do to actually speed that up. One thing I could do is there are augmentations or implants. These can be used to boost your attributes. As we talked about earlier, higher attributes means faster training times. Looking at EveMon, even more memory would be my best attribute for my current skill plan that I have built. Or I'm sorry, more intelligence would be my biggest asset. So I may get some implants for missions, so I don't want to spend any money on them now, especially when I've had to spend, my 400,000 ISK I had saved up on skill books. I definitely don't want to be spending money on implants when I still have more skill books that I need to buy but cannot afford. Um, but that is one option, that if you work really hard and get a bunch of money, then you could use that money to buy implants and train faster. Um, Speaking of money, I do have these metal scraps from that um, last mission that I ran. I could just sell the metal scraps, hit sell. Some other player has put up a buy order, and they're willing to pay me 2,424 ISK for these metal scraps. But pretty much anything in the game can also be reprocessed. There's a few exceptions. For instance, a skill book can't be reprocessed, but most items can be. So all we have to do is right-click on it and reprocess it, and it turns it back into a raw material, in this case only tritanium. We're not going to get anything else. No more valuable ores. And then we can sell the tritanium instead. Um, Doing this looks like it actually netted us slightly less. The person buying this probably has much better reprocessing skills and will get more out of it, but I think it was nice to demonstrate exactly what's going on there. So I'll sell the tritanium for the 2,361 ISK, and I've got a bit more money. I did also get an expanded cargo hold. Because of the missions we're running right now, I'm not going to fit this right away. This would make my cargo hold larger and let me fit more, but does, I believe, reduce my maneuverability. Yes, my maximum velocity, even worse actually, would go down by 15%. don't really want to take that hit right now when I'm not doing something like mining. If I do get some more mining missions, though, the expanded cargo hold could definitely come in handy, making our Bantam's cargo hold a little bigger. So let's go through and take some more missions from all of our agents. In fact, I'm thinking it may be a bit more efficient for me to go ahead and start taking more missions at a time. So it looks like I have to go in and mine some type of ore at some type of dead space after destroying some rogue drones. Yeah, let's see what else we get. Looks like I'm going to get another salvaging skill book, which I thought I actually got as a mission reward, so that's kind of odd. And it looks like more mining, so it looks like that expanded cargo hold might just get some use after all. So we've gone over that before, how ore can be turned into minerals through reprocessing. And our final mission. Looks like some type of cosmic signature training course. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to see exactly how they go about teaching about the different types of um, signature types that show you the different dead spaces that are available to explorers. But let's go ahead, we'll mount our expanded cargo hold. And we're not going to mount our expanded cargo hold because I have not yet trained hull upgrades. I don't think I have the money for another skill book. No, pretty much any skill book is going to cost more than the 23,000 ISK I have, but we'll have to add hull upgrades to the list of ones I need to buy shortly here. So let's go ahead and undock. And I now have several missions available at several different dead spaces. I can't actually remember which one was which. The first two I think were both mining, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one first.
Warp drive active.
Actually, I'm not. Let's see if I can cancel this warp. Ship fitting is definitely important, and I did not bring a mining laser. So we will not be doing the mining ones right away. Let's go ahead and do our Cosmic Signature introduction.
Warp drive active.
After we turn this mission in, we'll come back and drop our salvager for a mining laser. And actually, I did notice that there is a reward of a second mining laser from the one mission. And it looks like we get a little pop-up here with our tutorial. And all we need to do is activate the gate.
Warp drive active.
I don't like how the picture is sort of over the text. I'm having trouble sort of realigning this window and changing its size. Well, we'll move it off to there. And so they're going to give us our first probe launcher and probes. Definitely don't have the money to buy them ourselves. I like how they give us the various items we need as mission rewards instead of any real money. It's sort of force us down the path. So basically, as it's saying, you would equip your core probe launcher and then launch scanner probes. Um, they can reach out to a distance and scan the cosmic anomalies. Um, I'm sorry, cosmic signatures that the onboard scanner cannot actually pick up. Um,
Warp drive
Various
active.
probes can scan for different ranges, but at different qualities, and as far as exactly how close they can get you to the anomaly. So some will cover almost the entire system, but they're not very accurate, as opposed to others which only cover a very small area. So you have to know generally where the um, anomaly is without knowing exactly where it is. And it's going to go over each of the different types. Gravimetric signatures are full of asteroid belts. The higher level ones can have some unique asteroids. Um, yeah, as it says, the lower security, harder to find ones are going to have the best ores in them. And the next type of site it's going to show us is the magnetometric sites. These are gravimetric sites. Whenever you're running a scan and you're shooting out these different probes, it'll tell you what the type of site is at that time. Generally, people are looking for specific types for whatever their activity is. Magnetometric sites, found with scan probes, man-made structures, ruins or abandoned areas. You need to train to use the analyzer and salvager. Uh, believe the components that you would then find in these sites. Generally, there's also going to be some hostiles, of course, that you'd have to blow up before they'll let you use your analyzer and salvager. Try to combine those words. Before it'll let you, you're going to have to kill hostiles generally, but then the things that you recover from there are used in invention, which allows you to create Tech 2 BPCs for higher level production, I think. Radar sites are communication facilities used for people who have the hacking skills. Another, I believe this can get you data cores and other components also necessary for invention.
Warp drive active.
Exploration is never really something I got into, so I can't say to really be an expert in this field, but it really does just come down to launching probes, finding the type of site you're looking for, and then going there and exploiting that site through various skills. Later sites let you put you into gas clouds. Gas clouds can be harvested with gas cloud harvesters, which then get turned into boosters. Um, Lots of which are illegal, so they can't generally be used in high-sec space. More of something for folks living out in 0-0. And that appears to be it. We get to go back to the station and complete our mission and equip our miner.
Active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
And I believe our exploration agent is this bottom one. No. This one. Nope. And of course the last one I try. Generally, once you get past these initial missions, you'll never have multiple agents that you're pulling missions from. You'll generally just have your one agent that you're working with, unless you're really lucky and you find two agents of the same quality level in the same station. Then you could potentially be running missions from multiple agents. Looks like we got another Bantam. So it looks like we have to find a gravimetric site. So let's go ahead and accept that. Alright, so let's go ahead and give this one a shot, especially since it is a gravimetric site. It means that there's going to be asteroids inside of it, so we can do a little mining while we're in there. Why not? So we'll go ahead and drop our salvager and our blaster. Gonna go out without any weapons. And fit our core probe launcher. Oop, and I've accidentally put all of this stuff inside of my cargo hold. And we'll go ahead and fit the miner and put our core scanner probes inside of our launcher. Yeah, it looks like we got room for two more inside of our hangar. And I'm gonna guess we're gonna have to take this proof of discovery thing with us. So it looks like once we find the gravimetric site, we can use the proof of discovery to unlock the gate, which then proves to our agent that we did successfully find it. Um, and that looks like it. Let's go ahead and undock. Alright, so next we open up our scanner window. And we launch a probe. And so we can click on our probe and choose Analyze. And we did find a gravimetric site at a distance of 2.22 AU. So not too far away, actually. And so we open up our map. Magnetometric sites we're not currently interested in, so we'll ignore the result. Okay, so what it's saying is we have to deploy 4 probes, all of whom have the given site that we want within its range. So currently we're 2.22 AU away, and our probe has a range of 4 AU. So what we have to find are other objects nearby that we can warp to, that we can then drop probes at. What we really need to do is circle this site. We have to hit it from different angles, basically form a box around this site. So let's go ahead and just wing it, because there is nothing else really nearby. And we will warp to the planet, Utira 6,
Warp drive active.
and drop another probe. So you can see I'm able to warp and interact and do everything else, even though I can't actually see what's going on. Seeing is surprisingly unnecessary in EVE, as graphically nice as the game is. Your overview and various menus and GUIs are really all you need to truly interact with things, for the most part. Even in combat, your overview really does dictate a lot of it, although at that point, visually, things can matter a little more. So it looks like I'm here. And let's go ahead and close our map for a second. I didn't actually hear any warp noises, is the reason I doubt my... Oh yeah, I am away from the station now at the planet, so we'll go ahead and launch another probe. And then let's go to a moon. I'm about to warp to a moon now. Planets and moons generally don't have a whole lot going on them in high sec. In lower sec, we'd have to be... Basically, we couldn't warp to a moon. There's a very high chance that we would run into what's called a player-owned structure.
Warp drive
Um,
active.
New player in small ship finding a hostile player-owned structure is basically going to involve a very large gun blowing us up very quickly. So suffice it to say, if you're in low sec, don't go to moons, go to planets only, unless you know how to scan to make sure that there isn't a player-owned structure. Then you can go to the moons just fine. And we'll launch another probe. And finally, I'm going to go to the last uh, of the moons, Moon 4, orbiting this planet. I'm at Moon 1 right now. We can see where I'm at up here in
Warp drive
Utira
active.
6, Moon 1. And again, I really haven't done exploration much at all, so I'm sort of winging this. This is my understanding of how it should work. Let's see now that we've got 4 probes launched. Let's go ahead and analyze and see what we get. And it did not work. We still only have a 39% result. Um, that's disappointing. There are not, it seems, any other planets that I could warp to or anywhere else I could go. Um, let's see if that matters. It looks like I can manually position my probes. I did not know that. So I now have 2 gravimetric sites. Unfortunately, neither one. We see that I'm still getting a weak still because it's outside of my square that I've sort of formed. So what we could do is move this guy here, and that guy there, and that guy here. All right, so what I'm trying to do now is just surround this gravimetric site. Let's see if that's close enough. That seemed to have improved it. I'm now seeing a 75% signal. Unfortunately, it seems to be all the way over here. Elevation may be playing into some of my inaccuracy, so let's start out moving things a little bit better here. Looks like we may need to move them up a bit to get them on the same plane. Maybe that will make a difference. And our probes will warp. I could probably spread out these probes a little more and have made it a little easier for me. I believe as long as the site is within the blue sphere, they'll work fine. And we now have 100% signal strength, and that means we can warp to our site.
Warp drive active.
So since this is a test site, it can only be accessed by people with the test pass key, which we do have. And I can close my map, by the way, either by clicking this map button over here or this one over here. We'll use our pass key to get into this site that can only be accessed by people on these training missions to avoid legitimate explorers just coming into this system and stealing all of our sites. And then once we get into the site, by activating the gate using our pass key, which should happen automatically, there should be an item inside the area that proves that we made it inside so that we can pass our mission. And it looks like I've done the exploration mission. Hurrah. And so there are several asteroids ready to be mined in here. However, they appear to be intentionally useless asteroids. It's basically worthless versions of more common ores. And we grab our proof of discovery document, drag it into our cargo hold. And as long as we're out and about and we have our mining laser, we can warp straight from here to one of our mining dead spaces.
Warp drive active.
And so we'll close out of all of our exploration stuff. And I'm guessing this is the Veldspar asteroid we're expected to mine. Something else that can be a good habit and something good to know about is alignment. If you were actually going to mine for any length of time and you're worried about people coming along and blowing you up or causing you other harm, you can align to somewhere. You may have noticed whenever I click to warp somewhere, there's a few second delay while my ship points in the direction of where I want to warp. We can do that pointing ahead of time. Just by right-clicking on the station that I'm eventually going to want to go to anyways, I can choose Align To. And if we zoom in on my ship, we'll see it automatically point itself at and then begin approaching that station. Now I have to stay within 10K of the asteroid, so I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. But I'm still generally going to be lined up on that station so that if I do need to get out of here in a hurry, I can just click the warp to zero button right here and I will pretty instantly take off. Especially being in a frigate, it doesn't take that long to align anyways, but it will be even quicker now that I've aligned. And we have a pirate joining us, and I do not have a blaster on me, so we're just going to have to ride it out while I finish mining this asteroid. We can see I'm getting much better yield. If you remember from before, I think I was only getting 40 meters cubed, maybe even less than that, per mining laser cycle. That's greatly improved now that I'm in a Bantam and all of the mining bonuses it provides for me. And as we can see, he's really only causing me a very small amount of damage. Even if he does create any real damage for me, I do have my shield booster to pretty quickly repair that shield damage. So we'll ride it out and let him shoot at us while we mine. I'm not sure exactly how much of this asteroid I need. They were giving the units in Tritanium, and I think both of my missions required Tritanium, so maybe I can only mine this one asteroid, fill up my cargo hold, and complete both missions is my hope, although that may require me to mine it from somewhere specific. Oh, but we can show off the shield booster. I now have some damage here, down to 126 shield. I will just cycle it one time by clicking it and then very quickly turning it again, and yeah, that did only give me the one cycle and boots me up pretty well, up to 147. My shield is recharging on its own, very, very slowly. Your shield will recharge itself, but generally not enough to maintain a tank against even the smallest of hostiles. Well, I guess a hostile this small could probably be tanked by a normal ship, even with just its passive shield if I had any type of skills. This cycle should come pretty close to filling me up, probably about another half cycle past that. Should fill my cargo hold. Oh, don't even need a half cycle. There's really very little free space left, 248 out of 258. Let's go ahead and turn our laser off now, and that did fill me with 0.3 meters cubed left. That's pretty good timing. So now I'll go ahead, right click on the station we want to go to and hit dock,
Warp drive
and we'll see I'll
active.
take off almost instantly here. Thanks to having aligned.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
And let's turn in some missions. We definitely have our exploration mission completed. Turn in our proof of discovery. And we'll go ahead and request another mission. And it looks like we have to do the same thing but for a magnetometric site. These are ship rigs as the type of production for the materials gathered from magnetometric sites. So we'll go ahead and accept that. And let's see exactly what this agent wanted again. I think they both wanted... Yeah, he wanted us to refine it to trit. And... this guy did too, so let's go ahead and... and now I could definitely go onto the market and simply buy tritanium instead of mining it, and as long as the mission doesn't have a specific requirement for how I acquire it, that would work just fine, but we've already gone out and mined it. Let's see if they accept it. And that one did. And we'll request a new mission. It looks like they're going to give us a code breaker. They want us to go to this dead space, which is similar to one that you would normally have to scan out, and use it to hack the site, get the data storage device, and complete the mission. We'll complete this mining mission. Actually, we won't. You must deliver 7,000. We only have 5,500. So let's go ahead and cheat a bit here. Go on the market, search for trit. And we need 7,000. How much do we have? 5,510. So we'll right click, hit buy, and choose how much we need, which is going to be 1490, assuming I know how to do math. And it appears I do. We now have 7,000 trit, took away about 8,000 ISK, and we'll complete our mission. Or we won't. We do have to defeat a rogue drone at this site, apparently, before it's going to let us turn in the mission. So, let's refit our ship again. Let's try and cheat and not actually mine anything at that site, so we're going to replace our mining laser
There
with
is
the
already
blaster.
something in that location.
And we're also going to get rid of our probe launcher, actually. And that way we can replace it with the code breaker I thought we got. unfortunately, I am not actually seeing this. Ah, I've done this before. I read the mission description that I got from the agent, but I didn't actually hit the little accept button, so I did not actually start the mission. So I'll take the code breaker, we'll put that on, which is actually a uh, mid-level slot, so that's actually kind of good. We can keep our miner if we want. Or let's drop that and we'll keep our probe launcher. So we're going to go probe launcher and blaster. And we'll see if this is enough to do all of our missions in one sweep. Alright, still don't have mechanics level 3, so I can't use either of my salvaging books. And still cannot inject survey because it's the second time we've gotten that book. So let's go ahead and sell survey. And we'll sell a salvaging book. And we'll undock. Well, I will briefly pause the video here, or stop the video here. The next few missions seem to be pretty routine, similar to what we were doing before. So I will be back with the next video once we have a more interesting set of missions for you all to enjoy. I hope to see you then.